Welcome to another episode of State of the Wizards. This is episode 28. I'm your host, K. Jose, along with my co-host, D. Can. And today we have special guests on here, the OGs. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, fellas.
We talk a lot.
All right, I'll go. All right.
Oh, I know you feel bad about that.
Hey, listen, it's a pleasure to be on here with the wonderful gentleman here who invited us on to talk all things Wizards. I'm Trey Z, one of the three of the OGs of the DMV show. And I'm going to let everybody else do their thing.
Well, I'm Big Al, the biggest one of the three.
All right. And
That's it.
That's it, baby.
It's your floor now.
Hey, man, dig it. That's all I'm gonna go with, dig.
All right. Well, welcome to the show, fellas. It's definitely a pleasure. It's a long time coming. So before we get started, if this is your first time tuning in to the channel, thank you. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Follow Wizards Mafia on Twitter. Follow me, K. Jose, at DC Hoopla on Twitter. Also follow State of the Wizards on IG and on Twitter. And definitely follow the OGs as well, also on Twitter. You guys have a YouTube channel too, correct?
Yeah, we got a YouTube channel. We got a TikTok channel. We got a Facebook channel.
Okay. They probably got a Snapchat. Yeah, y'all got an OnlyFans channel too?
Hey, shh. That's where we make our money, baby.
Allegedly.
That's where the funds come in.
All right. Well, so let's go ahead and get started. So how did you guys all come together and start doing a podcast talking about Washington sports?
Well, we grew up together, man. We grew up in high school, middle school, around the same neighborhood. You know how it is. You talk football all the time, talk basketball on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
COVID hit, so we had to make another route, try to get some interest going on, and we just figured we'd do our daily conversation on video.
Okay.
That's how it happened, man. We just having fun. We're not here to, get 40,000 subscribers. We'll take 40,000 subscribers. That's not what we're here
take
for.
40,000 subscribers too.
We just had
One day,
having fun.
One day.
So y'all was just hanging out and y'all said, man, why don't we just go ahead and put this on YouTube?
Man, it's 30 years of hanging out, just talking sports, talking
Right.
Wizards, talking Burgundy and Gold sports. We've been doing it since we were 10 or 11 years old.
Oh man, that's all right.
We've been friends in the old Oxon Hill, PG area.
Oh man, I know that neck of the woods very, very well.
Right, that's right. So we just been just here, man. We happy to be alive and still fans and loving sports, man.
It's
we
a
hope
blessing,
to get some
man.
knowledge to some of these young folks.
Oh, absolutely. Some people don't know, man. They think you started watching Wizards basketball when Gilbert Arenas was playing. Most of us go back further than that.
Yeah, we went further than that. We was back there the day.
Got the pennant 1978, was in a couple of those games with Pops.
Yep.
Wes Unseld, Phil Chenier, Elvin Hayes, Nick Kupchak. Hey, that's how I learned to love the team, man. Your dad sat down and said, "You gonna like them?" I said, "Yes."
We need more of that. I tell you that. We need more of that. Okay. So let's get started. So we're currently 8-7, and we got the Miami Heat tomorrow night. So what did you guys think about last night's loss against OKC Thunder?
We just did a podcast on the football show. We was talking actually about the Wizards at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And, we play up and down to our competition.
Okay.
Them young boys, man. I keep saying we need a quick twitch guy.
Yeah.
Them quick twitch guys, man. We can't check them. We can't check them, and we don't have one. And that dude last night.
We got Denny, man. We got Denny, baby. Denny.
They love Denny, man.
We definitely going to get to Denny in a minute. He was getting a bad rep today.
He was getting smoked. Every game, man. Listen, our defensive stopper wasn't stopping nothing.
Yeah.
This dude had his way. He had his way on the 6'7" boy. Was 7'6". He was killing Porzingis too down. It's like nobody could stop him, man. And we played down. We had a lead, so we should have won the game. It's just that when somebody starts throwing stuff down our throat, man, we just cannot stop it. We can't stop. We can't stop the momentum some kind of way. We just
Yeah,
don't have that guy that can just pull up and stop the momentum.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I agree. One of the things that I noticed.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, SGA was just, as I was calling him, the shooting guard assassin last night. I mean, it seemed like no matter who we put on him, we just couldn't stop him, and he was determined to win. We call him bankroll. We talking about Bill. He played very well last night. He had a good shot, but just SGA just hit a better one that just ended the game. So, then he got trashed today by fans because of the flexing, which I thought that was just too much. But for him to get trashed on that, it's just against tall, lengthy guys like OKC, we're just gonna have problems with those type of teams, man.
I don't think we stepped up yet with our defense. I don't know if we have the defensive coach to show them how to get back. Our hustle seems like we tire out. Our bench get out there. They're supposed to be fresh, but they're not playing D. I mean, they shoot and they look at it. They go, look at that, we scored. And the rest of the team just run past them. Then they run back and watch them make an easy layup or whatever. I mean, it's really something to being a defensive squad, man. I mean, they talk about it all the time, and they say even now the league is using ratings because, I think a lot of it is gameplay. Everybody wants to be offensive phenoms, man. Score 40 and 50, and like your boy Curry scored 50 the other night, still lost.
Right.
But you know what they did? They talked about his 50. It's like you lost. So why are we talking about your 50? Who cares? But that's a different mindset. So that's one of the things, because I feel we supposed to have gotten from Unseld is that defense. Definitely a lot better than the old Scott that we had. But
well,
I can't get mad at that.
How do you feel about Wes Unseld Jr. as a whole? How do you feel about him as a whole?
Yeah. Big Al Fro, Hey,
well, but everybody speak at once.
Hey, I would say this. Wes Unseld Jr. comes from our old neighborhood.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? He was a young little snot in the neighborhood, man. And so we've seen him grow up. So we got to support him because of that. Now, I don't know about him being a head coach. I'm going to give him the thumbs up quite yet. But because he's a neighborhood guy, I got mad love for him and support for him. Okay. The head coach thing,
no doubt.
He hasn't proven himself as a head coach yet. You know what I'm saying? This first year, I think that we have a chance this year with the talent level we have this year to do some things. We can get that 6th seed, which is going to be tough. Yeah. I think that says a lot about his coaching. You know what I'm saying? If we can get that 6th seed, which is going to be really tough for us. You know what I'm saying? That's health. That's him doing a great job coaching. I think that's going to say a lot. And I want y'all to realize, too, that young boy that played for Oklahoma State, SGA, man, he is the top point guard in the league. Yeah. He's actually from a scoring position in front of Luka Doncic and all of them. That dude he's a bad boy. He is not flashy like Jai and all of them, but he's a bad boy. And he proved to be yesterday.
I say that SGA is at least top 2 right now in the league.
Yeah.
I feel like he's definitely a dynamic guard that, he controls pace. He the game comes to him so easily. He's not forcing nothing. He's a smart basketball player. I mean, he's everything OKC needs.
Mm-hmm. And he's young.
He's young. He's very young.
Let me tell you, he would be great on our team. I'll tell you.
Say he all we need.
He's all we need.
All we need.
I mean,
I like Unseld, man. You gotta understand that this guy's been his lineup's been turned over a couple of times, so he hasn't had anybody, solid for. Yeah. Last year was a turnover, and this year was a turnover. So if we can keep the same players, man, we can find out what kind of coach this guy is. But as for now, I mean, he's doing what he can. I mean, you see what we got. It's not like we got a bunch of number ones.
Right.
We got a bunch of, we stacked up with 2s and 3s.
Yeah, he can it's only what he can work with.
Yeah.
Right. He's playing the cards that's dealt to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we already talked about what do you think he could have done differently last night to secure that game? Like, what kind of adjustments could he have made? Because of course, Monte Morris was checking SGA. That was nothing but a matchup problem. What could have Wes done to secure that victory last night?
I'm gonna tell you what I always tell people, and this I may be showing my age here, but That's the reason you got Taj Gibson. Okay.
Mhm.
You put you put Taj Gibson in there at center. You put Denny on him, who SGA know he can get around.
Mhm.
Let him drive, and then let him hit the floor.
That's right.
See how many times he want to do that?
Bully ball.
Taj Gibson got 6 fouls. I want to see him all
Yeah.
use.
All day.
Yep.
You remember
Do it
Denny?
at the line.
Denny
Call
had
it
5.
free throw, but it's a free throw, blurry eye vision. It's a free throw with a headache. It's a free throw with some body aches. You know, it's a little different free throw when you bully
you up
ball,
in age.
man.
When you up in the air, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, fellas, man, you see, we grew up in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? We remember when Mourning and Larry Johnson was fighting in the middle of the court, and the coach started biting his ankle and all that stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different era. Though. My OGs don't realize it's a different era. You just can't go in there and
rough
gorilla
out
somebody. That's just not what they do this year. You just can't do it no more.
Oh,
the gorilla days is over with. You know what I'm saying?
I know what part of Oxon Hill y'all grew up in. Y'all grew up in Glass Cannon, didn't y'all?
I'm just saying, even if he gets thrown out of the game, so what? Get thrown out. You got to stop the momentum some kind of way, and that's the only way you got.
So basically, you said an enforcer. We need an enforcer.
Yeah,
I agree.
You need somebody to make them pay in the middle. And right now, we don't. I mean,
I agree. But you know, Ted don't want those kind of players, man. He don't want no enforcers on here. He want choir boys. That's the reason why our teams beat us all the time.
Yeah.
They don't want no goons. They don't want no real goons on that team.
No, they don't want no goons on the team.
They don't want no real goons.
You answered your own question right there, because you do need somebody who's going to be able to get in there, man. What they used to call Mr. Junkyard. You know what I'm saying?
Junkyard dog. They don't want that.
Junkyard dog. Yeah.
You clean up committee. You go in there and you get down in the paint. You never shoot. It's only dunks only and elbows, and that's it.
Yeah.
They don't want no junkyard dogs. They want the cotton candy man out there, man.
Hey, though, for real tip, though, don't you think they could have trapped them up front, man? Just came out with a trap and double team. You know, as soon as you get the ball and let them
play well, man. Our bench did not play well last night, man.
No, they did. Outside of Rui, you're right. They did.
So we lost those leads, and if that leads didn't slow down, when we were talking this conversation, man.
Right. You got to remember that Dort was playing good too, man.
He was.
So
you know, he got a funny type of game though, because there was a lot of shots he was throwing at us, man. They look ugly.
They look ugly, but they
go in. They
go in. He gave me hope because he looked so out of shape. I was like, damn, I can play basketball.
Right. He was. Hey man, that team is kind of weird looking anyway. They got one dude with a big old shag on the back. Say you do have a shag.
Man,
they had like the old Boston.
That Memphis
Celtics weird looking team, man.
Yeah.
The Bobby Brown.
That look crazy, man.
Bobby Brown joint.
And then there was a whole bunch of little real thin dudes, like 105 pounds, like 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? They have a weird team, man. The whole team was just weird, quick, fast, and they can hit jumpers, and we couldn't do nothing with dude coming down that middle. SGA was killing us. So
they got a bunch of weird looking dudes too.
They do. They got a bunch of weird and ugly looking dudes on that team. But
Jalen Williams, I don't know what's going on. I was like, what Jalen Williams got going on up at top of his?
Yeah, Jalen Williams. Yeah,
I ain't understand that. So let me ask you guys a question. What do you guys think, far as the young core that we had, the young guys on the team? Do you think they should get more playing time, or do you think we should still rely on the vets?
Nah, man, you see what happens when they come in. I mean, unless we throwing the season away. I mean, if you want to put Kispert in there for Denny, I'm with that. You know?
Okay.
Put in there. I'm not a Denny. Put Rui in there for Denny. He should be starting Denny. Rui should be started over Denny.
Rui should be starting.
I do agree.
The only reason Rui should be started.
Here we go. Here we go. Hey. Kanye.
You're gonna have them boys come after us, man.
Pull up, Deacon. Pull up, man.
I'm just saying, I just think that his defensive prowess is overblown, man. He's not the stopper that this team thinks he is. You can't put him on the number one scorer and expect them not to score. They're gonna go around him just like they go around anybody, man. I mean, he may be tall and stretchy. He get a play every now and then. He throw his little thing up. That, that's show. That's show.
Yeah, I think Denny gets a bad rep. I mean, defensively, he's always put on some of the better defenders, and they usually have a hard time scoring over him. The problem with Denny is that when he's not doing his job, his confidence level goes down, especially when you got a teammate like Bankroll out there getting mad at him. And in the course of the coach, it's like, okay, you make 2 turnovers, I'm sitting you down, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let Will Barton go out there and just jack up shots and put dents in the damn rim.
Yeah, Wes has his favorites basically.
Yeah, Wes has his favorites, so he got his Denver guys, and I feel that the young guys kind of get a bad rep because of those veterans.
That's like Coach Ron got his Carolina boys.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, every coach does. I mean, you can't really blame him for that. But at the same time, if Monte Morris isn't doing what he's supposed to do, then there's no need for him to have a longer leash than somebody like Jordan Goodwin, who Jordan Goodwin comes in, falling out of control. And, unfortunately, he got injured last night on that Denny layup. But, me personally, I'm taking Monte Morris out if Jordan Goodwin is playing way better than Monte Morris. But, Wes is never going to do that because
and there it is. That's what you asked earlier. You need a coach that can pick up on the synergy on the court in real time. Not what he has planned, not that, okay, we down, I can call a timeout. I'm talking about right now, I see, okay, it's not your night tonight, son. We're going to go and try something different.
Yeah.
You got to be able to make those adjustments on the fly. So that, I mean, that's what a lot of, what's his name? Chicago all them years. He was able to see sometimes your boy was in there. Paxson was in there all the damn time.
Oh, yeah. Phil Jackson.
He in there. He's hot tonight. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't see a whole lot of Rodman or something. You play according to how it feels, man. And maybe that's the lost art. I don't know. Maybe now everything is about money. What you call a bankroll, so bankroll's gonna touch the court. Now he's supposed to, but he also supposed to get 30. But then how long does it take till we realize he's gonna be off before we sit him down?
I think that's the problem. I think because of the fact of the money that he's making, we're talking about bankroll, it kind of puts Wes in the situation where he has to play basketball politics, which I think is so unfair. So it's like, these guys are making the most money. Yeah, I should be playing some of the younger guys, especially if they, doing a good job defensively or even offensively. But at the same time, I don't want to rub, my star player the wrong way by sitting him down. Like if he's struggling the first 2-3 quarters, Randy Whitman, we know if Wall or Bankroll was playing terrible, he was sitting him down. But I don't see Wes doing that. And to me, it seems like he's afraid to do that. I don't know if it's coming from up top. I don't know what it is, but he's afraid to actually coach the team the way he should coach them.
Well, let me ask you this. What young players are you talking about?
Well, I think Denny is actually a good player defensively, but we only see small sample sizes of these guys. They got a short leash. So Denny starts, and yes, he struggles offensively, but we've seen Will Barton out there struggling. He's still getting minutes.
Yeah, I think
he's the microwave. He's the hot old code.
Yeah, I think what it is that
microwave.
each young player on this roster has a shorter leash than all the veterans. The veterans have a much larger leash. All the younger guys, it's like if they don't do one assignment correctly, you got the teacher out here pulling and yanking them by the collar. That's basically what's going on. My thing is,
tell you right now, I feel like Bill Bankroll runs the team. I'm gonna tell you right now. I've been to the games a couple times. Bankroll got his lady and his kids all in the locker room. They, you know what I'm saying? He kind of controls the tempo of the team. I personally believe, when you have that dominant player, that A-type personality, you know what I'm saying? It kind of goes with him. And I think when he gets irritated, he gives a look to the coach, and then the coach pulls him out. And a lot of rookies make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of rookies. And
that's a great point. That's
you know what I'm saying?
That made me think about RG3, which y'all dealt with RG3.
Same thing. He was able to look at the owner, and the owner made calls. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing I think that Bill is doing, man. Bill is kind of because he's the franchise guy. At the moment, he's the franchise guy.
Mhm.
He's kind of cutting his eyes, and they pulling him out. Now, should Denny play? I don't know. I think Kispert should get a little bit more time. I would love to see so another big man come in and play a little bit more too, just to give the unicorn some breaks because he's injury prone.
About Gafford?
Yeah, either Gafford or even the rookie they got on the bench back there. I haven't seen him play at all. Which one? He could be one going out there and giving that 5 fouls and being that henchman. We don't know. You know what I'm saying?
In the trash time. The dude who's playing for the Go-Go's?
Yeah, the dude who's playing for the Go-Go's. Him, the big guy.
Oh, Isaiah
also
Todd.
Not Isaiah Todd, the other dude.
The other dude. But Isaiah Todd is another one, too. I would like to see, he's supposed to be, Kevin Durant type guy. But who knows? We never see him. You know what I'm saying? We never know. Can he do it or not? And then they already shipped down Davis to the Go-Go's, which he needed to go to the Go-Go's.
Oh, I agree. He definitely needed to go.
He needed to go to the Go-Go's. But nonetheless, right now we're fighting for that 5th and 6th seed or the 6th and 7th seed. And Bill feels like his best chance is the ball in his hands. And that's the point I want to talk about. Should Bill have the ball in his hands so much? I felt like when he was out when he was out sick with COVID, the ball wasn't sticking in one person's hands. It was more going through Kuzi,
Absolutely,
more going through the big man, Unicorn, and the ball was swinging a lot. And they was a little bit better shoot. They shot 35 threes. You know what I'm saying? They shot 35 threes in one particular game because the ball was swinging around a lot. They shot a lot better. So what do y'all think? Should the ball be in Bill's hands as much when he's out there?
I would say no. I don't think Bill at this point, his usage rate needs to come down. Bill's usage rate is, right now it's at 25%. I think that's where he was at when he was playing on the Wall, when he was playing beside Wall. He was in the shadows, 25% usage rate. It went up to 30% after Wall left. So, that's when you saw the 30 points per game, Bradley Beal. But now this season, because we have Porzingis, Kuz is handling the rock a little bit more. Bill's usage rate is going down. I think Bill's usage rate needs to go down further from 25%. I think it needs to be around 22, 23%. And then all the other guys' usage rate needs to go up. The Denny's of the world. Let's see. Kuz, obviously. Kuz usage rate. KP should be the number one option, in my opinion, scoring wise.
Well, the problem with that is if you even like yesterday, you look at the game. When Bill, his first quarter was 10 points, right? That's not bad. That's not. Then the next 2 quarters, he had nothing.
Right, correct.
But by the time the fourth quarter showed up, we was behind.
Yeah.
So he had to go and score, right?
Right.
The only problem with bringing his usage rating down is who else is aggressive? You can't make people shoot. Porzingis is not aggressive. Kuz is the only half aggressive dude.
Yeah.
Everybody else is not aggressive.
Well, let me say this.
Rui
Be way more aggressive than
He don't play most of the time. Didn't play.
coaching.
That goes to coaching. Rui has a high hand. He's very aggressive. He's been aggressive. He's now dunking on people. But again, this goes back to what we were saying earlier. Like what Z said, hey, moment Bill kind of gives, Wes Unseld that look, all of a sudden Wes Unseld get that get out look. And the next thing you know, Rui's sitting on the bench. And then here comes, either Monte Morris back in the game, and you might as well go ahead and call it a loss once he shows up because he's a defensive liability. So you really do need somebody aggressive, but we just don't have enough players that are aggressive. Like even when it comes down to bankroll, he somewhat still lacks that killer instinct. Last night, SGA had that killer instinct. He did not want to lose. And there are times when bankroll is just sometimes with that. Some days, some nights he don't want to lose. And then some nights he kind of has that look on his face like, why am I even out here playing?
Sounds like coaching again. Sounds like somebody needs to tell him, okay, man, it's official. It's your team. You got this. We lose, it's your fault. We win, it's your victory. It's you, man. Like it or lump it. Let's go. And you got to say it every night. It's your game, right? It's your team, right? You healthy, you ready to go. Let's get out there and make it happen.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you as no, but this is what I'm saying. You apply that pressure because pressure's gonna make what? Bust pipes and make
pressure's gonna make him dribble off his foot.
That is true. That is true.
You think because at this point, 250 million says You do that a couple times, you know, that look, you
And
got
become untradeable.
you got to give him the opportunity, because what
No,
we
I
doing
got you, I
is
got
the
it.
same thing. The Bama is not getting in there, not having that killer instinct, and he is the one that has the hot hand, or supposed to have it during when there's no game, because he is the franchise. You can't have your franchise out there playing like he's playing, man. Really, you have to push it to, or play big three ball. Say that, coach. Say, okay, Bill, Porzingis, Goose. This is it. This is what we're going with. We played enough games. We figured this out. It's you three. The synergy goes through you. Anybody else comes in, they're just patty cake and filling in. But everybody else knows that these are the guys that are going to shoot. Big A, you 7'3". If you don't get an offensive rebound, I need 10 from you to game.
But let me say this. I don't mean to cut you off. And then K. Jose, you can wrap this up after this real quick. So this is the thing. Even when it comes down to those three guys, you have to figure out who's going to be the top guy. You got Kuz out there telling people post-game that the offense should run through him. So the question is, who's going to be the top guy in the big three? I think that KP's willing to defer to Bill, but KP's better offensively than Bill. I mean, like, you know, a better offensive go-to than Bill.
Right.
Bill is the franchise guy, and then you got Kuz kind of like, look, I can do everything. So
I want it.
Right.
They got to start running sets, man. Whatever they do, they got to start running offensive sets.
Sounds like an identity crisis to me.
Right.
It does.
Insecurity going on. Everybody need a hug.
Yeah.
Hey, man. I want to know, do y'all think we should trade the man from Japan, man, and get a little something for him?
You know what? Let's hold that question. We'll come back on here. We'll talk about that, because I definitely want to talk more in detail on that. Mm-hmm. So that's going to wrap up the first part of State of the Wizards. Be sure to stay tuned for part 2. And once again, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. So we'll be right back. All right. Welcome back to part 2 of State of the Wizards. I'm your host, K. Jose, along with my main man, D-Can, with the special guest of the OGs, and we discussing Wizards hoops. So where we left off at, Big Al, you was asking a question pertaining to Rui, right?
Yep, Hachimura. They did not pick up his 5th year, I believe.
Right.
And why, I don't know, because he's been a pretty good player. He had a few hiccups last year, but he's been a pretty good player, and he seems to be steadily improving. So I don't know why they didn't pick up Rui, but maybe they had plans for him. I don't know. I guess the question is, should he be on the trading blocks, and what should we get for him when we do decide to trade him?
Well, you want to answer that?
Go ahead, D-Can.
Well, I was going to say, basically, when we gave Bill the 251, that kind of left Rui on the outside, because, you know, at the end of the day, you got to be able to afford to give the money to the franchise player first. And then Rui, in a sense, is being jumbled in with the likes of Kuz and KP. So this is kind of like a prove it year for Rui. If we had given him the money before what the market really says, we could either be shortchanged, or Rui probably said he wants to gamble on himself. We don't know the extent of that conversation. But you know, at the end of this season, his market value may increase depending on what he gives us throughout the season. So Rui can have a breakout year, and let's say who was that? DeAndre Hunter got like what, 90 million in Atlanta. You would say to yourself, okay, DeAndre Hunter only averaged 12 points per game. That's probably Rui's market. Rui only averaged about 12 points per game. DeAndre Hunter got 90 million. That's probably what Rui's worth right now. But let's say if Rui averaged 15, 16 points per game, which it doesn't really look like it's happening, Rui would then make more than 90 million. It's whether or not Ted's going to be willing to, you know, fork out over $100 million for Rui.
Yeah.
You got to trade Rui. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you can't bring a guy off his 5th year in a proven year off the bench. You know, he's not a bench player. Let's just be honest. This dude has improved every year. Every year he's improved, especially when he had that little scare about his feelings last year. Yeah. When he came back, man, it looked like he must have been practicing this 3-pointer, because that's gotten better. He's gotten more aggressive. He's more of a complete player, I think, than he was when he came out. And that's what you want. You want to start giving away guys when they start getting good just because you don't want to pay them. I would rather pay him. I'd rather pay him than Denny. I'm just saying. To me, it just seems like you're gonna have to score points in this league, man. You can't shut these young guys down. And I tell you, there's a new. I was saying before, there's a new one coming out every year. One of these quick twitch guys that are taking over the league. These young little boys are coming in, and you can't stop them. You only can score with them. And you're never gonna get Denny to be aggressive enough to be a two-way player.
You really got a bone to pick with Denny, man.
Yeah, he's got a Denny fan.
Really got a bone to pick with Denny.
He's like Kyrie, man. He's like Kyrie. You just watch the.
Come on. Don't put that on me. All I'm saying is I'm just going on what I see, man. When we need somebody shut down, he's not shutting them down, and that's his job. That's the one job he gave him. So,
Deacon, though, I want to ask a question, man. In your opinion, man, Kuz wants big money too. You got Kuz, you got Rui, and you got Denny. Who can you afford? Who can you afford?
You got to pay the big three. You got to pay the big three. You got to pay Porzingis and you got to pay Kuzma. Neither one. Now those aren't max players, so let's not go with 3 max players. That's not going to happen. But you pay those. Look at and listen. If Golden State can pay 5 people max contracts, we can do it. Don't worry about it.
But they're paying luxury tax.
Luxury taxes ain't my money. You had to pay. If you want to win a team, if you want to get to the end, man, you're gonna have to put some money up.
That's a fact.
Keep penny pinching, man. I'm not patting nobody pocket.
Why would I pay luxury tax when I'm paying for average players?
Because that's all you got, and that's the only people that want to come.
Players, though, man.
Who you gonna get to come here that's not average?
Average players.
Who you gonna get to come here that's not average?
I'm not paying them. I can give me another number 2.
You got a number 2. Why you want another number 2?
1.
But the problem is, though.
Thank you. Get a 1. Don't get another number 2. We got another 2.
My point is, then why pay Kuzi and pay Hachimura number 2 money or number 1
money? I'm saying you're gonna have to get rid of Hachimura. You got to keep Porzingis and Kuzma. That's gonna take up basically all your money. Hachimura's gonna want too much. Go ahead and trade him.
You gotta have the Denny's of the world on your team.
So let me ask you guys this.
Hold on, let me make this point because I think this is important. Rui he's gonna be a restricted free agent. So that means that
his price.
That means the market's gonna determine his price. So another team could offer him that, and then the Wizards would only have what? They can match it, basically. If another team offers him over $100 million, you saying that Ted shouldn't match that?
No, I don't think so. Because then you won't be able to pay your other 2 players that you need.
So you value the likes of Kuz. Well, KP's gonna get his money. We might as well say he's alive.
Yeah, that's set in stone. KP
right. But it's really up to it's really between Kuz
and
Rui. So who are you willing to pay? Oh, who are you willing to pay max money to, basically?
You're not gonna have to pay Kuzma max money. He's not a max player. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have to pay him a good, decent amount. Same thing with Porzingis. What I'm saying is by the time you finish playing those 2 players plus Bill, now you had to round the team out. And he's going to demand too much money on the market. So you got to trade him because if you let him go on the market, then we had to match him, we're just going to lose him. So you might as well trade him for something while he has value to this.
Yeah, but I look at it this way. Do you pay these guys, like Kuzma, max money because you have to or because you want to? Because if you think about it, we're paying these guys because it's like, well, we don't really want to be, without these guys. And even though we shouldn't pay them, we just got to be able to have this roster spot. So let's just go ahead and pay him anyway. And then we probably have to end up flipping them in maybe about a year or 2 because it doesn't pan out.
Trey Z, what you think, man? What you think? You quiet over there.
I'm listening to you guys, man, going back and forth here, and I'm really trying to determine if the question is what my man K. Jose just said. Do we want him or do we really want him? Yeah, I think that's what I heard. And with Kuz, he's always been that guy. But I last year, Kuz was the guy. Can we all agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can agree on
last year. He was Mr. Clutch.
Yeah.
This year, he said, run the offense through me.
True.
Did he
Yes,
say that? Is anybody else saying that?
The person who should be saying that is the one that makes the most money.
That's neither here nor there. I'm just saying.
Right.
Then we go back to our question. That's our homie, Unsell. You gotta hear the players. You got a man who's confident enough to put it on his shoulders, and you got a guy who Al said is running the locker room, but he's not willing, maybe, and I'm being careful, taking the responsibility of running this squad. Mm-hmm. What do you do? That's going to determine Deacon's statement over here, which is pay Kuzman. He's giving you that untangible thing that you need to take you to where we're trying to go. There's a lot of untangibles. It's not always about talent. That's important, don't get me wrong. But sometimes going back to our Commanders, going back to a lot of teams, you got to have something to play for, or it's just a whole lot of games back to back and a lot of sky miles. Mm-hmm. It's nothing to them. They don't have that. This young folk, present company excluded, young folk, sometimes they just, hey man, I got this gold chain, got that Maybach at the house, I'm good, whatever. Not necessarily connecting, invested into what we are trying to do, which is get those rings and bring it back to your city.
Right.
That has changed.
So I personally feel that Kuz is not going to bring a ring to our. Is Kuz going to bring the ring to our city?
He could be a part, Al. That's what I'm saying.
But you got to pay him 120.
But that's not what Deacon said. Deacon just said he's not a max player.
Well, he gonna want 120, homie.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what is Kuz's market. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is Kuz's market?
So
I think he's a 3, really. I personally feel like he's a 3.
I think his market, in my opinion, is going to probably be around maybe 29 to 30 million a season.
Right.
That's where his
I'm just saying
market is going to be. Now, is he that type of player? In my opinion, I would say no. I say sell him high, but because of the market and the way the salary cap is going up, and of course when the TV deals going up, you're going to start seeing guys of Kuzma's caliber and even lesser getting paid superstar money.
So I go back to, you put the work in.
So you're saying burn it down.
I mean, if that's what you're going to do. Listen, we got to be honest about what we have and what we got going on. Yeah, you can get rid of Kuz. You can get rid of him if you want, but you can get nobody else. Because if we could, we would have already. We can get rid of Rui, but who's coming in? That's what I'm saying. You pay the guys you have who are working hard. Ever since Kuzma got here, he has gone up.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
He has gone up in value. Ever since Rui got here, he has gone up in value with his game. Bill is already at max. When Porzingis got here, unicorn. Dallas didn't even want to play. But when he got here, his game went up again. Mm-hmm. Well, all I'm saying is you got to pay the people who want to play here, because nobody's coming here off a non-contract. You're not getting any people who are out there can pick a team. We've been chosen and we've been not chosen. So we try to get Kevin Durant. He just spit in your face.
He's coming back.
But this, yeah, that's true. This goes back to a conversation that K. Jose and I used to have. I used to tell
you got to be a winner.
I used to tell him that the people that we always get, the players that we always get here, there's somebody here and there's always nobody anywhere else. Why is
that's a fact?
Why is that when they come here, they make a name for themselves, but when they go elsewhere, they're nobodies and they win championships?
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to look at the history of this franchise, man. If you look at the franchise players, like how many guys can you really sit there and say, you know, and I'm going to direct it to you three guys because y'all a little bit older than us. When y'all watched this team play when they were the Bullets, which player did you sit there and say, you know what, I want to be like that guy when I grow up? Because when I grew up, I wanted to be like Michael Jordan, playing basketball. Phil Chenier. Okay.
Phil Chenier was a Clyde Drexler before Clyde Drexler. He was all-around player. But there was no real, like, other than the Julius Irvings, whatever, and people got names, not necessarily for points. They got names for their skill set or, just their pedigree going into the league. You know what I'm saying? The Iceman really didn't have a whole mega stats, but he was the Iceman. You see
and that's the point right there.
It was a different time, you know what I'm saying? So that changed when your boy Mike showed up. Mike started putting down 30 like it was nothing. And that, just like Tyson. Tyson went into the ring, losing was not an option. Your whole entire boxing career, unless you're undefeated because of Mike Tyson, you see what I'm saying? So it becomes a situation because even the greatest lost some fights. So all that being said, man, I said Phil Shannon. That was my call. On the
I'm gonna ask you a question like this, man. Who wants to go to Memphis? Who wants to go to Memphis?
Their barbecue's great, Al.
Who wants to go to Memphis? I mean, come on now.
Who wouldn't want to go to
Memphis? But Memphis has ball players. How to get ball players? Did a
Draft.
great draft. Who wants to go to OKC? Who wants to go to OKC?
Everybody left OKC.
Okay.
So how they get to be? But now they're a winning franchise. They about to be a winning franchise. They're on the cusp of being a winning franchise again. How they become a winning franchise? Great drafting.
How long did that take?
That's how you get a Jordan on your team. Nobody was trying to go to Chicago before Jordan got there.
He's in
Nobody wanted to go to Chicago. But when Jordan got there, people wanted to go to Chicago. So that's how you become a great team, Deacon. You have to do a good job of drafting. And unfortunately,
but we just can't draft.
Ticket sales are gonna be low.
Come on, man.
The problem is that we can't draft.
But not.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we can't draft. We
have you seen our draft?
Yeah.
Have you seen our players that we
don't draft
the right players. We don't make the trades that we make. We actually overvalue the players that we bring in, via acquisition. So like we're having this conversation, well, Kuzma, don't get me wrong. He has played a lot better, since he's been a Wizard. But what player hasn't played well when they come here? They get the green light. So if you think about it, the bar is so low when you're a Wizard, you can pretty much come here and do whatever the hell it is you want. But then when you go to a much more organized, functional franchise, you're going to get put into the role that you should be in.
Right. Exactly.
So what's the remedy? If we don't want to pay Kuzma, if we don't want to pay Kuzma, let him go. What's the remedy? If you don't want to pay Porzingis, let him go. What's the remedy?
The remedy, in my opinion, should be Ted Leonsis needs to hire a general manager
to do what?
Outside of the organization. Hire a real general manager and build this team up properly.
To do what?
Draft well.
How is what I'm saying? What's the remedy?
How? Simple. You go out there and don't manipulate us in that, believing that you're going to really hire a general manager only just to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to promote Wes Unsel's cousin.
We a mom and pop. I'm talking about that. I'm talking player. What's the remedy? If you lose a player,
how to do it already. Keep saying, oh man, every year this quick titch guys come out. Every year these quick titch guys come out, but he don't want to draft them. He don't want to take the time to draft them.
No, I'm the one saying package your draft and build them up.
So you asking your own question, dude.
Let's do it He just be talking. I don't want to say get all your draft. You use your draft capital for the next 3 years, as long as you get somebody you know is going to play like that. But until then, I mean, listen, we can't
OKC rolled the dice every year for the last 5 years, and now they got good
guys.
I think we passed up Ja, didn't we? Didn't we pass up Ja?
Ja Morant?
No,
we weren't.
I don't think so.
We weren't hot enough to draft him.
We passed up a Ja light person when we got Kispert, right? It was somebody that was Ja light, or I don't know, but I know when Kispert got called up, we were like,
well, some people will probably say that we passed up on Tyrese Halliburton when we drafted Denny. People will say that.
Yeah, some people saying we drafted Denny too high.
Yeah.
And some people are saying we drafted Rui too high.
Some people say we drafted Rui too high, yeah.
And those have been the arguments that I've heard.
And we already know we drafted Johnny Davis too high. So
that's a fact.
Let's hold out for the young fella. Let's hold out hope.
And we thought that was probably the best draft. So
hey, listen, the Warriors sent Wiseman down to the G League.
Yeah, they did.
He was
That's
huge.
true.
They got him number 2. So
But they can afford to do that.
right, I'm talking about the war. But so the thing is that we're better on this team at free agency than we are in the draft.
Mhm.
Yet we still don't have the capital and or the status as the DMV to get individuals to want to come here.
Exactly.
You know, and so that does play into things. There used to be a unified front with all the franchises here, man, working together to make Washington what it is. I mean, we've been under construction for the last 5-6 years, so maybe all that might turn around. I mean, Al made a good point. You know, these young guys, they still want to party. They still want to do things, man. And it's not in Memphis. It's not in OKC. It's not in Portland. I mean, but they're getting these players. So we're just going to have to figure it out.
Well, really,
J.O.K. Jose said it was organization. That's what I heard.
well, really, we got to get lucky. We got to have a season where, you know, we ball out of control, and then, you know, free agency, like, oh, those guys are having fun over there in Washington. Let me see what's going on. We're gonna have to get lucky. But the question is how can you put together a formidable squad to get lucky? Like we need a squad that's formidable enough to at least give us 46, 47 wins.
Exactly.
So you're right there. That's the intangibles. Do our players like each other?
That's what they say.
That's what they say. They say they do.
Okay.
That's what
Do
they
you
say.
feel that?
I think so. I think so. I seen after the game, I seen the interviews and stuff. They always putting each other up. They propping each other up. I was glad to see Porzingis enjoy playing with Bill, because those are the two main players. You know what I'm saying? Porzingis is more miserable in Dallas. You know, so the better you feel, the better you play. I mean, you play with your friends, you play happy. You know, and you're right. The better we are, the better people we attract.
Mm-hmm.
Right now,
winning cures all.
Franchise.
You're winning definitely cures all.
We're losing franchise, so we might only have the option to build through the draft. That's why I say you keep what you got, you draft good, and then you can let some of these high-powered players go because you have something behind them. Right now, we don't have anything behind them.
Agreed. So let me ask you guys, who is your early season Wizards MVP, and who have you been least impressed by?
Johnny Davis.
Deacon is less impressed with already. He told us through the whole night.
We know Deacon.
Johnny Davis would be a disappointment right now. Not that he's played a lot, but just expectations he would be. But mine would be DeLon Wright, who was currently injured, but when he was in the game, when he was playing healthy, he was controlling the atmosphere, and we were winning. And it's more than just your game, it's how you run the team at point guard. You know what I'm saying? Morris ain't doing it like DeLon was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Burton ain't doing it. So, I mean, I do like Goodwin. I like the new guy. You know, he's aggressive.
Oh man, the energy is there.
Aggressiveness. You know, he gets in the passing lanes, but so does DeLon Wright. And DeLon Wright might not be as aggressive scoring wise, but he does run the team like it's supposed to be run. And maybe that is going to, cure all once he gets back. But as far as now, he's the only one that I've seen that's made an actual difference in gameplay.
Big Al?
I like KP. I think the Unicorn has brought his game back up to like it was when he was in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's my MVP at the moment. My disappointment, believe it or not, is really Bill. And the reason why is I feel like Bill is too I see Donovan Mitchell for Cleveland. When it's go time, it's go time. You know what I'm saying? He plays that A-type personality when it's time to play it. You know what I'm saying? I look at certain A-type personalities, when game time happens, they express that on the court. And Bill, I feel Bill has the capability to do it. He just has those chill moments, you know what I'm saying, where he's not as dominant as I would like him to be. So, and I was hoping this year he would take that step up where he'd be more controlling of the game and the tempo of the game, and just the time when it's time to play, and because he has the ability to do it, he has the talent to do it. So I would say Bill is my disappointment, not because he's not good. He's good, he's just not.
He's not
number one.
He's not giving you that superstar-esque performance.
Right. I was hoping that he took even for him to take a step up. And I was, and I still feel like he's waiting for Wall to come back and be the same Wall. You know what I'm saying?
So
Wall's gone.
Was Wall that guy for you, Al?
Huh?
Was Wall that guy for you when he was here?
He was to a certain degree because we won. Wall couldn't beat LeBron, but Wall was, I was impressed with Wall because he could control the game without scoring. He didn't have really a shot, but Wall controlled the game without scoring. You know what I'm saying? So he was.
Agent Zero was that for you?
Definitely Agent Zero was. I loved Agent Zero. I don't care about the shenanigans he did off the court, but on the court, when he was healthy, when Agent Zero was healthy, I loved Agent Zero. When he got, unfortunately, his knees went bad and that was it for him. But when he was healthy, definitely. But he had so much shenanigans too, though. You gotta say them shenanigans was off the hook.
Shenanigans.
Absolutely. Trey Z, what you got, man?
I'm gonna go with Big Al. KP is definitely the MVP at this point. And my disappointment is gonna be unique. It's Gafford. That's my disappointment. I saw a different player last year. I saw somebody I thought that we just had to figure out his playing style. Was aggressive as he could be. He's not a banger, but he was there to clean up things on the offensive end and the defensive end. He was knocking a lot of more block shots than those that I could think of. I mean, Porzingis would just pretty much say "Olay" and let you go ahead and do your thing. But Gafford would get up in your face and make you earn it.
Yeah.
And so the fact
they call
that
him the landlord, they've been trying to stick that.
Trying to get him something, get him fired up, but I don't think the coach is impressed. Something's going on, so that's a disappointment for me. I feel like sometimes we need that presence down there. That's like it's not so easy in that paint.
They have kept Lopez.
Yeah,
hook shot.
Hook shot himself.
It wasn't pretty, but it was effective.
It was effective once he got down there. That was his problem. It took him about 40 minutes to get to the other side of the court, man. He was slow. It was like
that's it. Like he was skipping across the court.
But so if we can get Gafford a little more playtime or some kind of, I think that would be that change that is needed or that spark. I'm not saying he starts. I'm just saying coming off the bench, we're gonna get everybody some rest. Give it to Gafford down low, see what he can do.
Yeah.
So who's the MVP of the OGs?
Well, we already know that, fellas.
We always know that. We know who it is.
I appreciate you mentioning that.
Stop. I mean, that's nice for you to go ahead and get these guys.
So I got a question for you guys, for the OGs. So this is completely off the topic from the Wizards. This is about y'all Commanders. How you guys feeling about Dan Snyder putting the team up for sale?
I'm ecstatic.
Deacon?
I'm ecstatic. But Deacon, tell you how you feel, Deacon. How do you feel, Deacon?
Deacon.
Yes.
I need to get you a tissue, bro.
Huh?
You say you need to get you a tissue?
Listen, I warned these fellas, and it is, I'm gonna say it here. So
he's a fan of him, baby. Big Dan.
Oh, he's a Dan fan? Okay.
Listen.
Oh, so he can't do no wrong.
You guys, I mean, I hate to see a man driven out of his own property. Okay.
Right.
But listen, he can sell the team. All I'm warning everybody is that the new owner is not going to be somebody who is stuck in Washington. Go ahead and sell that team to somebody who wants to move the team quietly.
Interesting, you say that.
Then who y'all gonna be upset with then?
We'll be the Montana Mules, baby. Let's go.
You know how much money they making in London right now off of football? Billionaires like to move teams.
Yeah.
They like to move to wherever they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Let's go,
get Elon Musk in here, who's not even an American, buying the team and wants to move it to the new international franchise. And y'all go ahead and be the London Commanders.
Wow.
The London Trey Dogs. Are y'all, is that still y'all team?
Sounds like an awesome fall trip.
Y'all, what you ask for? All I'm saying, you don't be careful what you ask for.
Hey man, Deacon, nobody's moving the Commanders out of the number 4 city in the United States. How much money is in DC, baby?
Number 14.
It's number 4 city.
You know how many
nobody's gonna move it out of DC, baby. We make money here, baby. It's money here, baby. Money.
Keep on. Hey, Dan will do. I told you a thug. Dan will do that just to spite. He'll find somebody who want to move the team.
Dan's about to get $8 million, man. He don't care.
From the dude who want to move the team.
$8 billion is a lot of money. That's Kanye money.
So who was it? Bezos was the last. I think Bezos really wants the team.
Yeah, Bezos and Jay-Z.
And Jay-Z.
And KD in the mix.
Y'all about to be the what y'all about to be? Rockefeller Amazons? What y'all about to be?
Real. For real.
It don't matter.
You heard it here.
Rocket zones.
Hey man, Beyonce gonna be doing the national anthem for us, baby.
Yeah,
Beyonce.
right.
The bees, baby. Beyonce.
We're talking about a team that has changed its game 2 years in a row. The fan base is more of the opposition in the stadium. And this dude is like, hey, let this guy continue to sexually harass, cook the books, and tear this team down because he wants to keep him in Washington. That is the most ridiculous thing. But
that's right.
That's America.
That's right.
Only in America.
Only in America.
He might be the only person I know who's pro Dan, though. I don't know too many pro Dan.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just saying, listen, I'm not pro Dan. I'm just
yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I'm just pro the team. I'm pro the team.
Man, this dude loves Dan. This dude plays golf for Dan every Sunday, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the Heat.
He just don't want Scott Turner fired. That's all.
Yep. That's facts.
Hey, we playing the Heat tomorrow, man.
So what's y'all predictions for tomorrow's game?
Miami.
Okay.
No, that's not my prediction.
Oh, I thought you said that was your prediction. Okay, Miami.
I was just saying that's what we playing. Miami, I was thinking out loud. I'm sorry, but I'll go first, and I think that we could pull this out.
Okay.
I think we can go down there in Miami.
It's here.
A home game tomorrow.
It's here? Okay, even better. So I think even last year we had Miami's number a couple times, or he came in buckets, did drop something on us one time. I remember that clearly. But I think we could. So here's where we are. We are competing, which is great. And if we can maintain our energy coming back after the half, like we did the game before our last one, you know what I'm saying? We came back and we started putting that weight right back on them. I think we can do that with Miami. We can beat them.
Okay.
I have a score for you, but I just think we can beat them.
Gotcha.
What you got, Deacon?
Got us winning.
Winning? What's the final score going to be? Let's see if somebody can get the score right.
115 to 101.
Oh,
triple digits.
Okay.
Hey. We score and we stop them from scoring. I like that.
That means Kispers is 100% again, huh, Deacon?
No, I'm just hoping somebody. I'm just hoping somebody's off for Miami. It ain't about stopping nobody.
Yeah,
it's about somebody being cold.
What you got, Big Al?
I think the big three going to be back next week for the Miami game. Jameson, Butler, and Arenas is going to be at the game. They honor them at halftime on the big three. So I think that's going to just bring the fans in a little bit. The fans are going to be real because we all love Agent Zero and his team. That was a pretty decent team. They could beat LeBron, but that was a pretty decent team. So I think that's going to bring fans in. I think Cousy Coos is going to play hard. Cousy Coos likes the limelight. It reminds him, you know what I'm saying? He's going to put his sweater on, do his thing. He's going to put the sweater on. Cousy Coos likes the limelight. He's going to make it feel like he's in LA again. So because of that, I got us blowing them out, man. 120 to 105.
Ooh. Y'all going high. Y'all going high.
Agent Zero's playing out.
We're trying to get pizza. Trying to get free pizza.
Free pizza, baby.
Free playing that game.
Agent Zero must be playing.
So my prediction, I'm gonna go Wizards 110 to 95. So I'm with y'all as far as like 15-point Hopefully we blow them out. We sustain the lead. They don't come back. We don't have no, we don't stress out. We can go to sleep with peace. We ain't got no problem. So 110-95, and I think that we see a big game from KP tomorrow night.
That's fair. I agree with that.
What you got, K. Jose, before we wrap it up?
I'm gonna probably make it a little bit lower. So I'm thinking that we'll win 105 to 105 to 100.
Okay.
I gotta be in that way. I think it's gonna be more of a dogfight. Eric Spoelstra always get these guys to play. Duncan Robinson, all these guys, they do play the game the right way, but I think we'll be able to pull it out. I say KP is gonna be the one that lead us in scoring as well.
Maybe Bill can play like he played 2 games ago and close it out.
Yeah,
he did close it out 2 games ago. He came up strong toward the end. So
yeah, but you don't really need him to close it out. I mean, you got other players that can do it as well. So
yeah, if they're aggressive.
Well, yeah, that's true
Depends
too.
on what night you playing on.
Depends on what night he wants to be aggressive. Maybe his wife will make him be aggressive.
With the boys.
Lock it up.
All right, guys, that wraps up. That wraps up this episode of State of the Wizards. I want to thank the OGs for coming on today and showing our channel some love, man. We really appreciate you guys, man.
Appreciate the invite, man. Appreciate the invite.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
man. We really do appreciate that, man. Some of these old guys, pretend like we got some friends around here, man. And if you have, make sure that you got friends. Subscribe to one of the best basketball shows that's out there, State of the Wizards, man. Awesome content. Let's do that.
Yes, sir.
Right now.
Yes, sir.
It's free. Click the button.
Absolutely. Yeah, be sure to share, like, subscribe, drop some comments. Did you guys want to plug in any type of content before we leave?
There is a little show called The OGs of the DMV show,
There it is.
You want to go there.
Like, subscribe.
DMV, exciting. We have a good time. Fans by fans for fans, which is how we met these fans. And so that's where you're going to come check us out.
We're talking about the Texans, the next coming up this weekend. Look for our show talking about the Texans and how we're going to stomp them Houston team. We'll stomp them. We're talking about it.
Can't exactly tell you when it's coming out, but it's coming out.
Left hand up, baby. Keep your left hand up.
That's right.
Left hand up.
Left hand up.
And we apologize to all Philly fans. Sorry.
We'll be all right. We ain't crying.
One day, Goldie. One day.
I don't know what we were thinking about, man. I don't know what we was talking about when we did that to y'all.
Y'all needed a Super Bowl, so there you go.
The division is the division win, baby.
That's all right.
It is.
We'll take it.
It is. But I appreciate you guys, man. Y'all have a good night.
Hey, you too.
Y'all too,
You too, bud.
All right.
All right.